to watch.
On the must-watch list.
Yes.
So it will
Oh,
be
sadly we can't cover everything. It always kind of feels a bit bad because it's like some players you just don't get to cover it all. It's just a bit.
They should just
but
get
then,
into finals. We'll cover them then. Easy.
But then again, it's like it's still there's still an important reason why you watch the best top-rated games. There's
I mean, that's what we're here for. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
If we wanted to watch 3-hour games on Cobalt Valley, we could do that too.
If you don't get covered, get good.
Yeah, get good.
Prep. Just top 16? Ha!
Top 16 on FAF? Like, what is that even? Top 4 or bust?
Okay, so the map is Zerg Canyon. I like that they spawned where they spawned. I remember playing a 1v1 here. Or was it a 2v2? Where I spawned all the way in the corner. Like bottom left and top right.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
I have no idea either, I didn't see anything.
I mean, he's got a kind of nice build range on this engineer here. But
I wouldn't be able to see because I didn't disable the mod, though.
You know, Farms, you're never going to disable it. Stop acting like
No.
you're going to disable it. It's not going to happen.
Sorry. So there's 40k reclaim on the map, and the good part is it's quite densely, like in dense pockets, which makes reclaim a lot easier. I really detest when you have maps where literally the reclaim is like spread all around the map, like Africa, for example.
Oh, Africa is the worst in that regard, especially if they like mix in the freaking no mass single trees.
No, this, especially if they mix in like the cacti, like in Africa, where it's like, oh well, there's this very tiny, like kind of pixelish object that exists out of 100 different cacti, and your engineer needs to spend 5 minutes to reclaim it. And those are on the entire map. Now attack move.
Yeah, it's like, you wanted to attack move? Screw you. Don't. You have to click every rock.
Yeah, I think that is one of those maps are the only situation when it's like, the entire area reclaiming, when it's like, sure, if all maps were like that, then I would agree with it.
There's also a very tiny, almost invisible rock that was messing up Texas build order, which you gotta love it.
Nice, that kind of feels bad. The Tex went for a quick bomber. I kind of like it because gonna be quite some expanding engineers to pick off on this map.
Yeah, they're getting the Hydro here. This is a very important Hydro to deny because you're mostly
yeah,
power limited.
Although the Inti is not really going for. Okay, now he switches targets.
Oh yeah, the Inti just comes out.
That can be a very nice bomb. I wonder if Grimplex will pre-split. There's an attack.
I don't like this. The cliffs
water.
are a bit scary.
Yeah, they are. And it's UEF bombers, so if it overshoots, it won't kill neither of them. It'll kill.
There we go. That's the money hit.
Clean
Hydro.
bomb and nice dodge. That will be dodge.
Oh!
What?
Last bomb
Wow,
almost got it.
That's honestly, I feel like Grimplex didn't deserve to lose that one. He dodged it, but the UEF bomber was like, oh well, instead of like dropping the bombs in the line of where the bomber is, let me just like circle it around so I can still somehow kill it. That kind of felt like it's like the Janus that sometimes just zoom in on their target.
Well, you
bombs.
see, in there's a guy who's just chucking the napalm out at the engineers. It doesn't matter what direction. Wow, 3 NGs in the base building the factory spam all dead. There's only 2 NGs left in the base right now.
He's just on the Janus with a fucking rocket launcher type thing, or however you would usually fire napalm with it. You just sprayed like in front of the plane.
Another failed attempt to kill this engineer that's now at 13 health.
Yeah.
But there's another bomber that might come by and kill it as it's finishing the Hydro.
Yes, but it's kind of paying for itself, because if you look at the expansion of Tex compared to Grimplex, he is quite far ahead. Because the engineer that was going to the bottom axis had to go towards the hydro. And I think at this point, Tech shouldn't even go for that hydro, those engineers, but to the bottom left engineer. That's the important one.
Yeah, there's actually a mech marine that's going to get in the back here, although some tanks could be pulled.
It's true, but the potential damage of the mech marine, it can be decent, but I won't see it do a lot. Although I guess he gets 2 engineers here.
It's pretty nice.
It's just permanent bombers, and I'd say Grimplex, like now, he needs to make his own. Okay, he cleared up 3 bombers just now. Because he made like 4 inties, Sex made like, Flex is just going bomber only. He just doesn't, it's like he doesn't give a fuck.
The man just wants to bomb things. That's such a crime.
His view meets the unit, so it's a bit of an unfortunate thing for Grimplex.
All the early units just run into the ACU. Like,
Yeah.
that investment there is just not gonna pay off. And now there's a mech marine in the back of Grimplex's base. It's a classic maneuver.
Texas quite hard outplaying Grimplex.
This is just mean.
It's the score's the same, but I'd say it will start become different. Like again, this type of map, it's if it goes to mid or late game, it's kind of a macro map because there's a lot of reclaim, there's a lot of maxes, but early game there's a lot of raiding potential, and let me tell you, if someone says raiding, Tex says high.
Tex has a lot of mech marines. Like, he still has 6 on the map. I think he might have accidentally queued up a few too many from his factory.
Yeah, but
they're value mech.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I mean, they're very cheap anyway. And it's not like having some labs which are a tank army is super detrimental.
It's not
Yeah, so
bad.
now Grimplex is doing some counter bombering on the units, which is actually pretty decent because he will be able to win these fights easily because of that.
But he's losing both bombers to a single inti despite having local. Oh, that one survives with 10 health.
Nice. Yeah, but even if he did lose it, was like he killed 5 tanks and he lost 0 because the bombers did damage to the tanks. It's also quite sneaky how a Sarah bomber leaves a striker alive on like 10 HP or something, or no, not 10 HP. How much? Probably like 50.
Some amount of HP.
Let me see. There's no drop. Oh, this bomber at the bottom. I guess there's an attack move on the cliff, not on the units. Another bomber from Tex on the bottom. It's gonna kill this engineer. The lab is still alive.
The lab's still alive. The tanks actually just left without killing it. They were like, oh, we don't see him. I guess it's fine.
He's gonna lose both engineers, and the Maxis, the Hydro, is not important. You know what's important? The fact is that there's still the 4K reclaim there.
He's just not allowed to grab this. Like, Tex has a significant reclaim advantage, about 6K reclaim to about 5.5. Alright, that wasn't as significant as it was a minute ago. It's still elite.
Yeah. Although Grimplex is probably grabbing the somewhat more contested reclaim, maybe? I guess
maybe.
Tex didn't grab all his reclaim in the top right here, so there's that as well. So in the end, Tex has a small advantage, but considering like how macro heavy the map is, I'd say this game is nowhere near over, that's for sure.
Well, Tex has managed to give himself T2 land. It's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's exactly what you should be doing. I don't like that factory positioning though. He's building everything all the way at the back.
It's kind of a weird place to put it. I guess it's near this ramp? I don't know.
It is near the ramp, but you know why I would never build, like, just for pathfinding issues, and later on, if the game goes late game, that's where you want to build like your air. Like that's the perfect position for your air. It's nice and flat. Like I would rather, like where Grimplex got his engineers sniped like 10 times, that little area I would like rather build my land factories there, or like south of Texas base.
Texas is gonna go ahead and start bombing the T1 P gens in Grimplex's base.
Well,
Oh, that actually hurts. He needed those P-Jets.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of E. He still is missing that. He only has one Hydro. He isn't like no E.
He's got no E. Man needs E. I mean, he's building a few more Hydros across the map, but
the man has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Tex currently has 3 times the E.
Yeah, look at how many, like, and he is about to finish a Tech 2 P-Gen. He literally finished.
Alright, Tex, you don't need this T2 P-Gen.
I think you can cancel those Tech 1 P-Gens. I mean, it's fine. He just has to go Tech 2 Air now, and he has to go Tech 2 ACU, and then rush gun, and maybe shield with it. Like, it's fine on big maps like this if you overbuild E, because there's always a use for it. He can build Janus, he can build ACU upgrades, he just, you know, needs to use the E if he has it.
Yeah, he does need to get some map control with, like, his advantage, though. I mean, the T2 land's coming out, and Pillars should be able to do significant damage.
Yeah, for now he's a bit on the defensive because the Grimplex went all Tech 1 spam. So he does lose, like, the top left and bottom rights. He's probably gonna go fall as well. So he needs to be...
He's just printing inties. Like, look at him go.
Yeah. I'd honestly say Tech's underbuilt Tech 1 a bit because he might be able to get away with it. But like I said, with the reclaim on the map control is pretty important on this map for the early to mid game. Like bottom right and top left, there's still like 7k reclaim there in pretty dense clumps. It's just what's important is they just need transports to drop engineers there. I mean, at least Grimplex walks engineer there, but like
Game is
I'd
hard.
say lack of transports is just like the versatility of them is just so important.
I mean, the entries that have been trying to go to bottom left and top right, or other way around, they keep dying.
Yeah, it's true, but that's why if you have transport, they can't die.
Tech's being very brave here.
And I think it's an awful time to push because he's right in the middle of his transition, of his Tech 2 transition. Meanwhile, Grimplex doesn't have a Tech 2 factory upgraded yet. He doesn't even have a tube, I think.
He's got 25% of a T2 max, and that's all he needs.
Like, Grimplex is all in on Tech 1. And Tex is mid-transition, so if he just buys time, eventually he will win.
But he's also feeding
And
Texas AC a bit of it here.
Yep, he actually got it there. Although the reclaim should go for Grimplex. Again, Grimplex, like there's almost no Phobos in that army, and on a map like this, even more so than on the map-gen map. Like, this map is not open. It consists of a ton of choke points. And Phobos are gonna be so much stronger in this map than on the map-gen map. And I'd say he's really underbuilding him. Also, where is Grimplex SU? He's kind of chilling, but this strategy, what he's doing, he can't be allowed to chill. Like his SU, he should move north and then push and then flank Tex from the south. Oh, Tex might die here. That's a lot of units.
It is a lot of units, and there's no nearby reinforcements for Tex, but there's a pillar. I guess. There's OC.
I mean, if he doesn't die, he's gonna be in the red. And now imagine if Grimplex Idol ACU actually moved there to intercept it. Might still be enough. He's getting focused now.
Yeah, this is actually really dangerous. There's just nothing nearby. I mean, alright, we got 2 more pillars. Tex might vet again.
Yeah, there's OC, yeah, that's a vet.
Up to 8k. Pillars are being brought in. He's backing up.
What he needs to do, he needs to keep the pillars out of range of the units so that they don't die. Because his last pillar did die, and that is a big blunder. Actually, there's one alive with 50 HP.
Alright, I think Tex is fine here. He's got a multiple T1
God,
PD.
is he gonna be fine? Wow.
He'll sack the pillars, but he'll save his life.
That OC, he killed like 6 units and got the vet with it. That saved his life.
Just beautiful.
Honestly, if there were more Phobos in that mix, he might have died.
He might have died to the Phobos, but Grimplex is going to get this entire reclaim field. It's a nice 3k mass.
Yeah, that's true. He's gonna get the reclaim fields, and mid control is semi-important because of those little plateau sections. They are pretty nice, and they also still have the reclaim on it. It's just that look at Grimplex SU. It's just
He's building AA because there's gunships out on the map.
He's being a slow, and this is not the situation to be a slow, I think.
To be a slow, not to be slow.
He's still spamming Mass Effect 1, but he's versus almost pure pillar now, and so he needs to switch to more Phobos regardless. I mean, there's tech to gunships, but they're UEF, so they're worthless. So
it's true. They're trying their best.
I honestly don't know why he wounds built Janus here, because they would do great.
I think the original plan was an ACU snipe, but Grimplex just decided to not let that happen.
If you build this much AA, aren't you? It's huge. Force not to leave it. Just go back to your main base.
You'll be safe there. Grimplex gonna try to death push Texas ACU past everything.
I mean, that's a lot of units. Actually, the Tex. I mean, this is a fine push. It's not the most efficient, but he will get the reclaim if he, you know.
I mean, like, will he get the reclaim?
Well, he should get the reclaim, but that doesn't mean that he is. Right? Like, his attack move of Engineers from the previous reclaim, it's out of reach of the reclaim field. He didn't move it. So he's not getting that previous reclaim field either.
He is actually just swarming Tex.
Tex is moving back in.
Tex, what are you doing there? I mean, he vets back up to 10k HP.
Oh, this shift G-ing from Grimplex is kind of harming him. He's like, he just needed to shift G to block Tex with like 5 units, but instead he did it with his entire army. He keeps shift G-ing with his entire army. But I think Tex is dead anyway. That's so many units.
It's so many units. There's like nothing from Tex to stop this. Where are the tanks? The shield dies. The pillars are dying. Man's got 9k HP, but
that's so many tanks.
This is 62 tanks just in the vicinity. We got the XD.
Tex is like, what the fuck is happening?
I didn't think this could happen to me.
No, I didn't think this either.
Just swarm the man with tanks. And Grimplex takes game 4, winning the series 2-1.
I like to point out, imagine in that last fight, 2 Janus.
2 Janus would have killed everything.
Yeah.
And saved the day, rescued the princess. And meanwhile, like, Grimplex is losing all his stuff, like, all his expansions. There's pillars in the back of his face.
I mean, he was all in on this move, and I mean, not even 2 Janus. Imagine if he made a transport for his ACU.
Oh god.
No, but there was no air to kill them. The air decided to try and kill the gunships earlier. It's like he didn't have. He was being too aggressive when he didn't need to be. Text to this, he didn't really have like some backup plan, like to try and save his SU, Janus, or transports. Like, it's just this shouldn't have happened.
This should not have happened, and yet here we are.
Yeah.
This is real life.